demonstration for you guys, okay? All right. How many of you guys have ever heard of Paul Rabel? How many of you guys think Paul Rabel is a great shooter? Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you think Paul Rabel is a great shooter. Raise your hand if you think Paul Rabel is a great shooter. All right, you guys are wrong. Put your hands down. All right. Paul Rabel's not a great shooter. Paul Rabel's a great athlete. Paul Rabel's a great lacrosse player. All right, but he's not a great shooter. Okay, he's not a great shooter. All right. Anybody know what Paul Rabel's shooting percentage is? What? No, you're wrong. That's how fast he can shoot the ball. That's how fast he can shoot the ball. All right. Anybody have any idea what his shooting percentage is? What? No. 12%. All right. What is it, Jeff? All right. 18%. 18%. How many of you guys think 18% is a great percentage to shoot successful? How many guys? Marking? Who did I hear say something? Where did that come from? All right, that's not the way we talk around here. You understand? All right? It's all right. I'm calling you out. That's not the way we talk. You got it? All right, good. All right, now listen up. Listen up. All right? We're going to show these guys are going to show you a demonstration on shooting, and I'm going to talk to you about some percentages. All right? Guys, you pay attention, or we're going to shut it down. You hear me? All right? We're going to talk about some percentages. All right? But what I want you guys to look at is the form. All right? And the repetitiveness of their form and their shooting. Okay? Dad's left-handed. All right? He's Canadian. Okay? He's got multiple ways of putting the ball on the goal. Okay? And I'm going to have him talk about shooting a little bit, his concept of it. Got Spencer over here, a righty. All right, has a nice shot as a freshman. All right, has pretty good form. All right, it's fairly consistent. We'll have Stevens, Montrello show us a couple shots on the run, which he does a phenomenal job of, which is a little bit different than stand up and shoot. And then Joey and Joey, where are you? You and Jimmy can work on the left. Spencer, is your stick working? All right, you guys can work on the lefty shot. But I'll have these guys talk a little bit about shooting, and then we'll talk about some percentages. Touch, go ahead.
All right, fellas. For set shots, kind of my specialty, I'd say. But first things first, you want to square your body up in a good shooting position. Get your elbows up, elbow and the butt end of your stick pointed towards your target. We're going to want to go straight over the top, sidearm. Don't dip your stick down till you're a little bit more experienced, like myself and these guys over here. But for now, right over the top, elbow and butt end of the stick pointed towards your target. Straight over the top.
Oh, yeah. I want five of those against Duke when we play. How's that? Go ahead, throw a few more at this time. Spence, come up here and feed. Come here and feed him.
Getting his hands away from his body. Get your hands up and away from the body. You want to extend it. You get a lot more power that way, right? See he's getting way out of here.
Good. Now a couple points, all right? Jimmy's making and Chad's making. All right? Your power is going to come from the torque. It's going to come from your waist, but it's also going to come from extending your hands. We see a lot of young kids when they're shooting the ball. All right, we call them alligator arms. Their arms are right up here and tight. You're not going to get power. All right, and you're not going to get accuracy when you're shooting the ball. Now, who can work on their shot all by themselves, right? All of us can, right? Get a bucket of balls, all right? Go in front of a mirror and work on your form. But start with getting your hands away from your body. Talking about putting a basketball in there or holding your girlfriend, right? Like this, hands away from your body, okay? not you younger guys, but some of you older guys, all right? Hands away from your body. Elbow pointed at the target. I'm going to let Jimmy take some shots now, too. Now, Chad made a point. Listen up, all right? We prefer, especially with you young guys, to learn how to shoot over the top. To learn how to shoot proper form first. Now, you earn the right to be able to drop your hands and shoot, all right, low to high. But you can't get that right earned until you can do the proper form first, right, Jim?
Yes.
Right.
And if you start shooting underhand and you miss, you probably lose the right.
You probably lose the right, and you probably lose your spot, all right, on the team where you were. So we'll let Jimmy take some shots and Joey, and we're going to have Spencer take a few himself. Go ahead.
Right, if you just shoot underhand too, it's not like you're going to catch it up here and bring it down. I like to, if I'm going to catch the ball low, I'm going to shoot it low just so you can get it out of your stick quicker. So don't just think I'm going to catch this and shoot it underhand. So wherever you catch it, that's where I like to release it from. So here you go. One more. See, now I lost my right. Now you got to go overhand. And try to get, like Chad was doing, hands up and away from your body. Finish towards your target, guys.
Yeah, power.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
Aiden. All right, two more, Jim. Last one. Good job, Jim. Now look, Joey's going to come up and talk about some things too, but a couple things Jimmy pointed out. All right, a couple things Jimmy pointed out. We're stepping towards that target. All right, you see a lot of you younger guys shooting across your body. All right, Joey's going to talk about uses it in his technique. All right, is his base. Okay, his base set where he wants to point that foot. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, so talking about your lower half, you know, it's real important that you get your feet set when you're passing it, when you're shooting. So when Spencer is passing it to me, I don't want to catch it and then take a big wind up there and then go into my shot because that's going to take too long. So when Spencer passes it to me, I already get my feet moving, so I'm ready when I catch it to just release it right away. All right? When you're shooting, you want to start with all the power in your back foot, all right? I like to compare it to a baseball pitcher, right? He starts with the weight in his back foot. When he ends, his weight should be in his front foot, all right? So it's the same thing in lacrosse. When you shoot, you should start with most of that weight in your back foot. When you end up, that weight should transfer to your front foot, all right? When you finish, your front toe should be pointing at the cage, all right? You don't want to be pointing over here. You don't want it all the way out here, all right? When you finish, it should be pointed right towards the goalie, all right? And then another thing that you won't notice when you watch people shoot is how much they use little things like wrist motion, all right? It's not all arms and everything when you finish. You really got to get a nice wrist snap at the end. That's also like how I like to compare it to a baseball pitcher. When you finish, it's good to get a nice snap at the end. It's the same thing in lacrosse. When you finish, you want to finish with a nice hard snap. All right?
Two more, Joey. All right,
Joe.
Now we go from the right side. Joey's got it too. I want you to speed Spencer. Spencer has a nice shot. He's got a little snappy release. Now, one thing I think you guys got to notice too, guys, is the best way to become a really good shooter to mess with goalies. You can develop your release point the same spot every time. And I tell this story. It's not a story. It was reality. We had a player, and actually I'll tell you who it is. It's actually my son. The guy Marcus played against Delaware in a playoff game a few years ago, and he scored 4 goals in that game, and he shot the ball 4 times to 4 different locations. But we watched it on film as a staff, and the one thing that stood out was that he released the ball all right, with the same motion, the same way, but the ball went to 4 different spots on the cage. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? And the goalie, by the time the 4th shot went in, the goalie basically froze because he wasn't quite sure whether it was going to go. It was high to high, it was high to low, it was high to 5-hole, and it was high off stick. But on film, you can see the same release point, all right, every single time he shot the ball. So what we try to develop with our guys is a consistent motion and a consistent release point, and then change the elevation of the ball with the same release point. Now, what do you think it takes to make that happen? Practice, 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 practice. All right, you're not going to become good at anything, all right, unless you're willing to put the time and effort into it. All these guys that are standing out here, all right, look up here, put an inordinate amount of time, all right, trying to perfect their craft, okay? So it just doesn't happen, all right, by luck. It doesn't happen by happenstance. It comes by an inordinate amount of practice. Okay, so we're going to take Spencer and take a few shots. Spencer, got anything you want to tell these guys?
Just the one thing I work on every time I shoot is I know the guys down there heard me say it, is keep my stick behind my head. I know if I get my stick behind my head, as I'm falling through, it's really tough for the goalie to see where the ball's coming from. And I know when I was talking to guys, I said if you just shoot from here to here, the goalie, and if you ask any of the goalies that were over there, that's probably the easiest thing to see. So the one thing I always work on is just getting it behind my head and nice overhand release.
That's dribble. Get one more ball.
Another thing I want you guys to notice too, all right, if I'm going to set the feed from Jimmy, okay, I'm not going to have my stick here, right, Jim? Where are you going to throw the ball if I have my stick here? To the stick, okay? If I'm going to take a feed from Jim, I'm going to have my hands up away from my body, calling for the 1-4 with my stick up in this shooting position. All right, what do we call this position right here if I'm on a lacrosse field? Anybody know? Triple threat. Who said that? It was a young Aiden.
Man, Aiden.
Get up here, Aiden. I'm talking about a chest bump. Come on up here. Nice, right there. All right, triple threat. All right, why do we call it a triple threat? Anybody know? Raise your hand. Yes. You can do everything in this position. You can pass, you can shoot, and you can dodge. Okay? You can pass, you can shoot, you can dodge. If there's one thing I would recommend to you young offensive players is to develop this triple threat position and make it a constant in your game. Make it a constant in your game. If I'm out on the lacrosse field and I have my stick down here, do I look ready? No. No. If I have a lacrosse field and I have my stick down here, do I look ready?
No.
All right, go out to a lot of these young games. I see guys hanging out on the field like old men, leaning on their sticks. All right, up, triple threat position, be ready to play. So when I look over at Jimmy, all right, I don't have to do anything but look at him. All right, I'm ready to go. Boom. The other thing you got to develop, all right, is soft hands. Soft hands. All right, so what I don't want to do is this. All right, I don't want to do is that. You watched all our guys out here have their stick in triple threat position, and they have soft hands. So Jim throws me a nice pass. All right, I am ready to shoot. I can catch and release, all right, automatically. Ready? Catch and release. Bang, bang, right back to him if I have to. So get your hands away from your body, get your stick up in this level position up in the box area, we call it, and have soft hands, but have triple threat position. Okay, is everybody good with that? Yeah. All right, Steve Pontrello, I want you to come up. All right, Steve's from where are you from, Steve? New Jersey. New Jersey, yes it is. Yo. Yes, it is. All right, what were you for Halloween, Steve? What was your costume? All right, I was going to say this. I dressed up as a situation to be very sure. Dressed up? Oh, no, but it's all right. He is quite the situation. Stephen does a good job. Now, everything we just talked to you guys about was shooting from a set position. Shooting from a set position. All right, there's another way you have to shoot on a lacrosse field, and what would that be? On the run. On the run. Much more difficult. Takes a lot more practice. Takes a lot more technique. Stephen probably is one of our better shooters on the run, hopefully. Right, Steve? Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. Hopefully, all right? And Steve's going to talk to you guys a couple of pointers about shooting on the run. Go ahead, bud.
All right, guys. For me, if you're righty or lefty, I like to shoot on the run like downhill, overhand. I'm not really a big sidearm kind of guy. As far as dodging, I like to make one move and go. So I know I don't have a lot of room here, but if I was just to jog, I like to get here, get my feet running this way, my shoulders, my body facing towards the goal, my chin over my arm like this, all overhand. I know I missed there, but like bone away. And sometimes I also like to do, if I'm going with my right hand, on the overhand, same thing, one leg with the shoulders towards the knee, this way, I just up, stick it low. All right, like see as my follow. If I do a jump shot, my knees up, I'll just come over and I'll just finish at the top of my body facing forward. That's the biggest thing. I don't like to do this. I'm facing away behind arm. Also my back foot. You know what I mean? That's not a really productive shot. So I like to shoot overhand. If it's not blown away, either if it's a regular shooting or if it's a jump shot. So I'll just go throw a few up there, Steve. Hey guys in the middle, back up a little bit.
Go, Steve!
Yes,
Steve!
Yeah, pod.
Give a channel, give a channel. Little more. Ding it!
Steve, what hand are you?
Righty.
He's a righty? Yeah, we're not quite sure yet what hand Steve is. I don't think he knows either. Woo! Like that. A couple more. Nice. Yeah, try to. So, you could give these guys 3 keys. Shooting on the run, what would they be? Full speed, overhand, and bear down. Try not to fade away. What I mean by that is try not to run like this way. You want to get your shoulders forward. Try to run like this. Bear down, run like in a straight line. A lot of shooters on the run fade away, which takes the speed off their shot. How many balls would you say you shot, like growing up, you know, a lot? It just doesn't happen, does it, Steve? Nah, it doesn't just happen. You got to get out there on the field, buck the balls, take a lot of full speed runs, down just practice your run. All right, go ahead. You want to take one more? Yeah, I'll see one more. I think it's in you.
Yeah, Steve! Yeah, pod.